Full Velocity TV begins now.
And your source for esports racing is live. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Full Velocity Racing Network live at the Pocono Raceway, the Tricky Triangle. Cyber Thunder, Wyckoff Heating and Cooling, Thursday Night Thunder Series. Xfinity cars out here tonight live at the Pocono Speedway, and great to have you aboard live this evening on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. Phil the Cast here, the Jackass Todd Sherwin, the Phil and Jack Attack out here for a Thursday night. My broadcast partner, Tom Stanton, will join me here in just a little bit as he is frantically scrambling his way home from work. But at all, really good night of racing coming up on hand. 150 miles around the Tricky Triangle, 60 laps going to be the distance. The little crowd over here for the gang at Cyber Thunder Racing League. Got to thank Tom Richter and all the gang over here for having us over for once again another show. We're going to have a lot more of these things to come. The bumps of June, July, the first week in August, we are going to see the last 5 or 6 races of this Thursday Night Thunder Wyckoff Heating and Cooling Series live on the Full Velocity Racing Network, and we are very happy to have you guys all aboard. Of course, we're going to thank our sponsors, clear out of the gate here. Got to thank Hanover Record Service for all of what he does for us. Tyler Blankenship, all the gang over there. Check those guys out today on Facebook at Hanover Record Service. Also, a big hello and thank you to our buddy Jeff Brown for iRacing iFlag. If you've not picked up some of the product over there, well, those iFlags, they give you an upper hand over the competition. Gonna check them out today, iRacingIFlag.com. And thank Jeff Brown for all he does for us. Also, gonna give a big shout out to Kathy and Brian Voiles of Voiles Trucking. Commercial freight hauling, no job too big or too small. Look them up today. Voiles Trucking on Facebook. Tell them that Full Velocity sent you. We appreciate all they do for us and the entire sim racing community. Kathy and Brian Voiles of Voiles Trucking, great people. Also, a big shout out to the gang over at BladeNode.com. I see our buddy Sam Perrioli out there in the Facebook Live chat already. Hope Vlad's out there doing well as well. Simple web solutions powered by nerds. Check them out today. BladeNode.com. If you need web hosting, VPS server, maybe even a dedicated server, you go over there and check them out. They're one-stop shop for all your server needs. BladeNode.com. We'll tell you all about our great promo code we got going on over the course of the night. Also, a big hello and thank you to Scott Bogloff over at the South Texas Speedway. It is Corpus Christi's place to race in the South, and it is an awesome little racetrack. I follow these guys very closely. You can as well if you're outside the South Texas area like I am. Check them out, SouthTXSpeedway.com. It is Corpus Christi's place to race, South Texas Speedway. Thank them guys for coming aboard. Also going to say hello and thanks to our brother Jake Keel over at Montstar Productions. He is hashtag making dirt track racing great again. Jake and the gang at Montstar will be live on the airwaves of the Full Velocity Racing Network on Tuesday, July the 2nd with the Firecracker 40 out in Knoxville. Check those guys out today. Be a part of the race or give them a good follow because those guys are great, great to keep up with. Montstar Productions. Check them out on Facebook. Also, a big shout out to TDR Racing League. They're the sponsor of the Turtle. You are upside down. You are absolutely pointed the wrong way. TDR Racing League, the sponsor of the TDR Turtle, here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Check them out today, TDR-racing.net. Also, a big shout out and hello to the gang at Hard Motorsports. They sponsor tonight's Quick Time of the evening, as they do every night here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Tonight's Quick Time being set by car number 38 of David Patton with a 53.027. Thank you to the gang at Hard Motorsports for all their support they give us here to the network as well. Also, a big shout out to Evil One Graphics, Trash Panda Graphics, two guys doing some really awesome wraps of the iRacing community. And also check out our buddy Brendan over at Full Throttle with the Gent over on YouTube, a great NASCAR-style podcast. Follows all the great stuff going on, especially the Monster Energy Cup Series world. He talks about a whole lot of different things. That guy gets on a tangent. It is absolutely comedy gold. Check him out today over on YouTube, the show called Full Throttle with the Gent. Give Brendan a look over there. As we come off turn number 4, we have that pace car on pit road, the iRacing I-Flag, green flag. Going to grease on the speedway. We go off into turn number 1 with David Patton at the number 38, Tanner Tellerico aboard car number 42, Edward Byen in the number 55, Jay Morris in the number 27, Tom Richter is number 34, Nick Fleury aboard car number 50, Ryan Libby a late entry, he's in car 46, Troy Whiteside aboard number 71, the 21 of our old buddy Craig Meyer, the number 99 of Jeremy Hebel, the 23 of Andrew Burr, number 3 is Chris Harvey, Derek McConathan in the number 26 machine, Andrew Payne aboard number 84, and Dakota Wilkins hopefully going to join us out there aboard car number 44. Skeleton have 14 cars. We are under green around the tricky triangle out here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. David Patton going to lead him here off of what looks like turn number 3, that short little sweeper down there, now to this long front straightaway here in Pocono where, you know, very famous. You can go 4, 5, maybe 6 wide down there. It is a long straightaway, just about a mile in length as they head down now to a very long sweeping turn number 1, the 38, that Cayman filtered Chevrolet. David Patton going to lead them off of turn number 1 and now down the Long Pond straightaway. Tanner Tellerico aboard that Tellerico Boardwalk Subs number 42. He'll ride in there in the second spot, currently operating in position number 3 will be Ed Byen in that Kitty number 55 machine running third. Tom Richter's got a 34 car now. He's going to pull up to fourth. Ryan Libby's number 46 car. Ryan joins right in the middle of qualifying aboard car number 46, the FuryRaceCars.com Ford Mustang. He's got that car rolling in the right direction, already now up to the top 5, working on lap number 2 to its completion down this long front straightaway. And once again, it's car number 38 leading us down here toward turn number 1, all single file. Pocono, as we know, if you've ever been watching a race at Pocono before, and I'm sure everybody out there has at one point or another, racetrack 2.5 miles in distance, triangle shaped, 3 different straightaways, 3 completely different corners you're going to go through. It's called the Tricky Triangle for a definitely good reason. Then down the Long Pond straightaway, heading down toward the tunnel turn in turn number 2, and Ed Byen going to drive the 55 to the low side of Tanner Tellerico. Put Byen now up to the second spot. Tanner Rico going to go back to third as they get through that tricky tunnel turn in turn number 2. Down the short chute here, the third of the straightaways, heading down off into a long, flat sweeping turn number 3. Got to really hit your mark through here. Got to let the car roll for a long time. Pick up back on the throttle, and that'll carry you down this very long front straightaway. That's a lap around this 2.5 mile tricky triangle. Pocono Raceway out here tonight, where we see the NASCAR series run out here for years and years as a, you know, twice in about 6 weeks, and I guess starting in 2020, they say they're going to run 2 Cup races over the course of the same weekend. So it's going to be 1 weekend stop next year in the Monster Energy Cup Series. That's going to be kind of a different feel coming out the Poconos. They've always run 2 races so close together. Really cool to see they're going to do that to the schedule. But we're going to race once again for second now, headed down into that tunnel turn in turn number 2 in the 42 car. Gonna come to the inside. You can see the 55. It's, I can't believe he didn't roll over there because that turn is so hard to go through. New tires definitely going to be the way to go if you're going to go side by side through turn 2 of Pocono. That is claimed the best of the best drivers over the years. They worked their way down to turn number 3, down toward the front straightaway. Looks like Byen going to hold on to that second spot. Tellerico going to look now to the low side down this long front straightaway. See who's going to have the best entrance to the corner down into 142, has an inside position. Ed going to slide up the racetrack in the 55. Looks like Tanner Tellerico going to stay claim to position number 2 now off of turn number 1. That's going to allow guys like Tom Richter in the number 34, Ryan Libby aboard Carter 46, and Nick Fleury's number 50 car. They're going to also enter that fray. They're still single file, but they're all looking for track position here Takes a little while here for the tires to kind of come in at Pocono. You got to keep these things under you. You don't want to get too overly aggressive with them, because if you ruin these tires, you could be out there for a long evening here at Pocono. As Tom Richter now going to lose position to that number 46 Ford. Ryan Libby going to make his way to the inside. 46 car, really good out of the get-go. Started off 7th here tonight, now up to position number 4, and he will try to chase down the 55 of Ed Byen down through the short chute, headed toward turn number 3. Headed up to turn 2, I should say, down the long pond straightaway, down through the tunnel turn as they head on through. Sweeping on through that tough little corner down there. You're really going to hug the bottom. It is definitely a lane, maybe a lane and a half. Very hard to go through that turn 2 wide down in the speed. Now they're in the short chute, headed down toward that long sweeping turn. Number 3, David Patton, our pole sitter here tonight, with that lap of 53.027. So far, so good. He's done the opening 5 laps here. Going to put 6 to completion this time by, and he is open to the lead of what was 1.1 seconds last time around. As we head down here off of 3 down the front straightaway, we will see what the lead is going to be here for car number 38 when we hit start-finish line as they work their way off the exit of turn 3. Down that long shooting straightaway is that race for 3rd now with the Ryan Libby machine, the 46 to the low side of Ed Byen. They're going to drag race down the straightaway, and why not? That's a nice long little drag strip they have down here toward turn number 1. Last time by, David Patton going to lead Tanner Tellerico by 7/10 of a second. So 42 car looks to be coming to life a little tad bit quicker. The battle is for that 3rd spot. Libby down to the low side of Byen. Tom Richter, that Wyckoff heating and cooling number 34 car. He's going to shoot the Mustang up to the outside lane. Maybe make a move on the 46 of Libby. They're going to stay side by side into turn number 2, and that is not going to be an easy feat. Tom going to have to slide out of the gas pedal because that probably was not going to stick down there. Richter now going to drop back to 5th. Ryan Libby's 46 car. He is the guy on the move, trying to chase down the 55 Ed Byen. They work their way out of 3. You can see the 46 car really shoves up the hill, kisses the outside wall down now the front straightaway, so that may upset the handle of that right front of car number 46. Ryan Libby making a little bit of brief contact with the wall as it looks like that race for the lead maybe getting a little bit closer as well as last time by 0.431 seconds between David Patton and Tanner Tellerico. Tanner running a 54.454 last time around versus David Patton's 54.764. So 42 car has him by 0.3 of a second. And watching these guys for a little while, I got this over really early here during practice, watching about 45 minutes worth of practice. And that 42, Tanner Tellerico, was by far and away the fastest car of the practice session they had here this evening. Guy that really looked to have some really good, not only short run one lap speed, but some really, really good long-term speed here over a course of 15 to 20 lap run. So no surprise at all. That Camaro Tellerico Boardwalk subs, car number 42, going to chase down that K&N Filter Chevrolet, headed down toward turn number 1. You see David Patton gingerly going to walk that car off the outside lane. Looks like a 42 really starting to drive it in through the corner, letting it flow up off the turn as they head down toward the long pond straightaway. 42 car getting a really good launch. Last time by a little bit slower for the 42. 54.796 versus a 54.887. So these guys have really slowed down the pace. It's well over a second off what they ran here in qualifying. So you can see how the difference in the setup really kind of come into play here. Good battle going on now for that 3rd spot, as it looks like Ryan Libby, the 46, completing the pass on Ed Byen, the number 55. Put Ryan Libby now up to that 3rd spot. Byen back to 4th. Nick Fleury, he is out of the top 5. Aboard car number 50, him and Tom Richter having a good race back there. That Racers for Christ, car number 50 now up to that 5th spot. He may run down the back of Ed Byen by the time they hit down toward turn number 1 this time through. So we'll have to wait and see. We had a couple of guys getting a little bit closer out there on the racetrack as they work down toward the north end of the racetrack off of turn number 2 down through the tunnel turn to the short chute now, headed off toward turn number 3 as we'll see how they set up the corner. But we're running on, 10 laps already in the books here. So these guys doing a really good job here. 150-mile race here tonight in Pocono. Cyber Thunder Racing League Thursday Night Thunder Series presented by Wyckoff Heating and Cooling, a great locally operated community, or company, I should say. Guys do a lot of great things. I'll pull up the Wyckoff spot here in a little bit. We'll read off exactly where you can find them, where they're located. But they are some great people. Got to thank them for stepping up and sponsoring this awesome series and also allowing us to come back over here a lot more. As we said earlier today, if you checked over to FullVelocityTV.com, the home base of the Full Velocity Racing Network, posted a great article about the Cyber Thunder Racing League a little while ago. Thank the guys at Wyckoff Heating and Cooling for coming on. We're going to see even 6 more of these races to settle out the season after tonight. 2 trips in the month of June, 3 of the weeks in July will be here. Then the finale, I believe, on August the 1st, I believe. So I believe we're going to see the last 5 or 6 races right here live on your source for esports racing, the Full Velocity Racing Network. Now working on lap number 11. Good racing going on back there between Nick Fleury in the 50, Tom Richter in the number 34. Is Tom now looks like he may have burned his tires off. Looks like Jay Morris, the 27, maybe starting to make some gains at Home Depot Chevrolet. Jay back there running in 7th. Craig Meyer, an old buddy we go back a long time with. Craig in the number 21, currently running in the 8th spot. Andrew Payne in the 84 is 9th, and Jeremy Hebel from 15th. He has worked his way from Jeremy Hebel running in the 10th spot. Andrew Payne is from 15th. He is up to 9th, but good little race going on up ahead between Fleury and Tom Richter. It looks like Tom gets through one half the racetrack a lot better than the 50 car does, and now as they work off the turn, it looks like now put the 50 car of Fleury back into the top 5. So those guys racing there 3 seconds off the race lead. Is now a yellow flag coming onto the speedway. Caution flag number 1 going to roll out here on lap number 12. Hanover Wrecker Service yellow flag for the first time here tonight. And going back, we just highlighted the 99 car, that Menards Chevrolet of Jeremy Hebel. Looks like he may have went around and backed his car into the outside wall. So hopefully we'll get out there as Jack will go back there and give you guys a BladeNode.com Full Velocity Racing Network replay. 99 gets a little tad bit tail happy. Oh, 84 goes up off the wall. Andrew Payne gets loose off the wall, comes down and clips the back of the 99, and that sends Jeremy Hebel around for a wild spin right there. So caution flag on the racetrack. Contact with Andrew Payne and Jeremy Hebel. Going to put us on a yellow flag for the first time tonight. Instant replays, as always, brought to you by BladeNode.com. Simple web solutions powered by nerds. Check them out today at BladeNode.com. They have good, simple web hosting if you need that. Great rates over there. VPS servers, dedicated servers. If you go over there today and use promo code FDRN, you will get 25% off your first monthly subscription, yearly subscription, minus the dedicated service on the yearly deal. But for promo code FDRN, look up these guys at BladeNode.com. They are great people doing some great things, and they support sim racing. So we got to support the guys that take care of sim racers. Indeed, live here at the Pocono Raceway under our first yellow flag here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. We're going to pause for the cause, enjoy some of the scenes under the yellow flag, and be back here live for the restart on your source for esports racing.
Boy, these iRacing iFlag cars are fast tonight.
You know, Todd, I guarantee you, Brown, Leonardi, Weaver, Capert, and Pena are all using their products from their sponsor tonight to give them the upper hand over the competition.
Well, how can I get fast like those guys?
Well, that's easy, Todd. You gotta head over to iRacingIFlag.com.
All right, back here live at your source for esports racing. Thank you to iRacing iFlag. And you saw there a little brief taste of what they have to offer as the iRacing iFlag green flag and a return to the speedway on lap number 16, 1/4 of the way home tonight in the Pocono 150 here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. David Patton and Tanner Tellerico going to lead the field back to green, double file restart. So that'll be where you got to watch the excitement kind of happen as you migrate back into the field. And I was back here riding along with number 21 of Craig Meyer, him and Jay Morris. So 27 having a good race. Craig getting a good run through turn number 1 and 2, as did Ryan Libby, the number 46. He's going to come to the low side of Nick Fleury's number 50. They're racing off on the 4th spot down in the tunnel turn number 2. And a little bit of side contact there. 46 up into the side of the 50. Sent Fleury way up the hill. He caught the race car, but definitely got a little bit used up there. Did Nick Fleury's number 50. Ryan Libby up to the 4th spot. Craig Meyer, the number 21, will now roll up into the top 5 in that nice-looking Busch Light Fanatec Amsoil Ford Mustang. Car number 21 up in the top 5, but top 3 starting to check out there from the field as we complete lap number 16. David Patton, Tanner Tellerico, and Ed Byan get 1 second gap between themselves for that race back there. 4th with Ryan Libby and Craig Meyer. That 21 getting a really good run there off the exit of turn number 1. Now racing down the long pond straightaway, headed turn the tunnel turn. In turn number 2, top 3 all single file. Let's see if the 21 makes a move to the low side of the 46 here, down here in 2. Nope, they'll stay right in the tire tracks, which is pretty typical. Tunnel turn, not a place you want to pass. Here is the passing area here, the short chute. You get through that tunnel turn really good. You get down through the chute here, get into turn number 3. You can almost outroll somebody in there. Just touch the brake going into 3, but the 46 getting a really good run on that 21 car. Ryan Libby going to hold on for P4. Meyer going to lose a little bit of ground there. Top 3 all single file up front. Ed Patton leading Tanner Tellerico, Ed Byan, Ryan Libby, Craig Meyer. Now Chris Harvey's number 3 car up to the 6th spot. Nick Fleury back to 7th. Jay Morris running 8th. Troy Whiteside is 9th. And Tom Richter, who had a really, really slow pit stop under that yellow flag. Tom Richter back there running in the 10th spot. Andrew Burr is 11th. Derek McClenathan running in the 12th position. Jeremy Hebel with some damage currently out there 13th. Andrew Payne looks like the 84 car behind the wall for the night. 84 going to be out of the race. Andrew Payne will finish up 14th. And Dakota Wilkins, he was the 15th driver in the server, but looks like he may have lost a little bit of connection out there in Colorado, so maybe not cooperating. Dakota Wilkins was scheduled to be out here on the racetrack. So far, no sign of the driver of car number 44. Looks like we'll score him 15th here because he's not even yet turned a lap out there tonight. So tough break, but we are starting to race off in a lead. Tellerico going to look to the low side of the 30 of David Patton, down to the turn number 1. 38 Cannon filtered Chevy Camaro slamming a door shut on another fellow Camaro. And that number 42 as we race down the long pond straightaway, headed down for a tunnel turn. And this is where the 42 can really back up his corner, really get through that second turn well, and see if we can't outrun him down this little short chute here, down headed into the 3rd turn. They come off the corner. 42 gets a good launch off it. Does he look low down the short chute? Nope, 38. So far, so good. Headed down to the long sweeping turn number 3. Patton going to drift it off from the high lane. Tanner going to drive the 42 down more toward the low side of the racetrack, trying to make the bite off the 3rd turn. Draft in play here at Pocono here, as you can certainly see. Tanner Tellerico now going to Went to the low side, down the front straightaway here. This long front straightaway here at the Pocono Raceway. Down to the turn number 1 and 2. They're side by side. David Patton drives that 38 car deep into the corner. Almost checks up the 42 car off the exit of turn number 1. But David Patton able to hold on to the lead. I think Tanner a little tad bit quicker at this junction. Just not finding the grip he's going to need down to the low side of the racetrack right now to complete the pass. We head to the tunnel turn 38. Going through there really good. These guys on new tires right now, so these things are really sticking good. 42 gets that good run off of 2, headed down the chute into turn number 3. 38, once again, going to arc that corner in. Tanner drives it more in a little bit straighter on the low side off the 3rd corner. I think the 42 car maybe has a bigger head of steam this time. Patton trying to break the draft. Now that 42 machine almost has a thought to peek up to the outside. 38 is attempting to break the draft all he can, but it's a drag race down into the sweeping turn number 1. They head down there. We're now 38 now to the low side. Tellerico going to try his bid up high for the race lead down to the 1, but had to roll that throttle a little bit too soon as they exit. 38 going to reclaim his advantage out there in the front of the field, heading down the long putt straightaway into turn number 2, the tunnel turn. I'm just waiting here for the 42 to make that move. His car looks to be a little bit quicker. David Patton doing a really terrific job as both cars get through the tunnel turn really well. They both carry a lot of speed and momentum through down to the short chute into that 3rd turn once again. Very flat through here. This is probably one of the most tricky corners in all of racing. They call this an easy corner. I've never got a grip of it. I don't think it's easy at all. And I'll take you through another lap here. They complete lap number 21. So we're 1/3 of the way home here. 22 laps in of a 60-lap main event, 150 miles tonight live here in Pocono. You're watching here tonight live via your source for esports racing, the Full Velocity Racing Network, out tonight, Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV. Phil Lacasse here, Jack Truan doing the controls. I believe my partner Todd Stanton is going to be joining me here really shortly as he is his high talent at home from work here tonight. He was a little bit off of what he thought was broadcast time here this evening, as he thought it was 8:30. It was actually 8:10. We went on the airwaves live here. Qualifying took place at 8 o'clock. A long 10-minute session of qualifying. They call group qualifying. Go out there, put the fastest lap you can in 10 minutes. So that's what number 38 of David Patton did here tonight, picking up the Hard Motorsports quick time. But off of that 3rd turn, here comes Tanner Tellerico. He's going to drive to the low side. We got a bid for the race lead. Tanner Tellerico versus David Patton, headed down off toward turn number 1. And who is it going to be that is going to win the drag race down there? 38 on the high lane. Didn't think he was going to be able to drive it in that deep here through the run of this tire wear. 42 car Tellerico not going to clear him. Head by his 55. He may split the difference almost out 3 wide down that long punch straightaway. 38 able to carry the momentum off up in the high lane. 55 of buying on the outside. He's going to take second from Tanner Tellerico down to the tunnel turn as they come grouping back together through turn number 2. 42 car got really loose there on the bottom. Edward Bine and that kitty Toyota number 55. Yeah, doing a really good job up there tonight in that fire prevention number 55 machine. Now up to the 2nd spot. Can David Patton drive away up front? We'll have to wait and see what race going back here. It looks like for around P7 where we find the likes of Chris Harvey and Jay Morris. Those guys going at it. A battle of 3 versus, so it looks like 21 and 27. Morris got a little bit loose, but that's a good battle going on back there. Chris Harvey, now Troy Whiteside, Tom Richter, Andrew Bird, Jay Morris. Those guys all grouped together, racing back there from about 6th on to about the 11th position. It's guys like Garrett McLennan and Jeremy Hebel. Those guys have fallen off the lead pack. They're well over 20 seconds behind our race leader. But this group running right together outside of 5 seconds off the race lead, being led right now by the 50 of Nick Fleury. Troy Whiteside's number 71 car, that Snap-on Tools Chevrolet, currently now running in that 7th spot. Tom Richter has rebounded nicely. Also aboard at 34 after a slow pit stop. He's out there currently running in the 9th position, but Harvey in the number 3 starting to reel in the 50. Chevrolet car number 3. PJE Designs machine for Chris Harvey in car number 3 as they work their way down the straightaway up into turn number 1. We'll see if these guys start grouping up a little bit closer together. Racing back here for about 6th, 7th, and 8th on back as we get away from that race for the lead for the time being, approaching halfway here, where David Patton still continues to lead over Ed Bine and Tena Tellerico. Those guys having a really good three-car race for the lead now. Bine to the inside of Patton, to the low side. Tellerico still right there as well. So these top three starting to put on a show once again up front. These guys really put one heck of a race on. Might be a late crowd here tonight, but man, we know the light crowds always can promote some really, really good racing. As the 46 car of Ryan Libby starting to chase down this top three as well. So what was a good three-car race to the lead, now it comes in equal four cars. And David Patton continuing to lead, but Ed Bynes 55, Tanner Tellerico's over 42. Tanner sliding way up the racetrack there, almost out of the groove, going to open the door for Ryan Libby's number 46. Down to the low side off turn number 1, you can see these guys' tires are giving up. Guys missing their marks. Completely different approach to rolling into the corners. Now heading down to, I believe that'd be the short chute there, into turn number 3 as they work their way, or the total turn, I should say, turn number 2. Down the north end of the racetrack is race leader Carter 38, David Patton. Now to the short chute, headed down into that third turn, and watching this really good battle going on with Bine, Libby, Tellerico. They're racing it out for second. Give it to Tanner there off the exit of the third turn. Now here comes that 46 Ford Mustang. It's a battle Ford versus Toyota now for position number 3. Libby to the low side of Bine. Ed gonna slam the door shut and maybe almost make it 3 lanes crossing over, as he's gonna look to the low side of Tanner Tellerico, headed down to turn number 1. They stay single file amongst the top 4, but this is a really, really good race. And you gotta think David Patton has gotta be loving what he is seeing right now aboard car number 38, looking in the mirror, watching these guys really, really race at it behind him out there. They're having a good race. Hope you guys are enjoying the pictures. I'm just trying to do the best I can to give you the storyline of what's going on, but the pictures tell a lot of great stories. And a contact off the turn. 55 of Bine made a little contact with the outside wall, sending Ryan Libby scurrying to the low side. Now off of a total turn number 3 as they work down here to the east end of the racetrack. Libby down low. Bine got into the wall. He may have kissed it again there off the third turn as a drag race down this long front straightaway here in Pocono. 55 versus 46, as these cars have all certainly started to give up the ghost here as we head toward halfway. 28 laps of 60 on the board. Hope you guys are enjoying this race. It's been a really, really good one here for the first half of this one. Looking over here live, I see Todd Cummings over there watching out there through the YouTube live page here tonight. Welcome aboard, Todd. Thanks for all the great support you've been giving us. I know you've been over here the last couple of nights. Looks like one driver maybe coming down toward pit. I believe Ryan Libby, the 46, may be coming down pit side here this time. So I'll have to keep an eye on what's going on there from pit road. But looks like the 46 may have a flat tire. The way that car is really slowing around the racetrack, so I'll have to update what's going on in that camp. But also want to say hello here to Facebook Live as well. I don't think Twitch has chimed anybody in here tonight. Twitch crowd really light, as we haven't done too much to push that platform. But if you haven't followed us on Twitch, you can do so. Twitch.tv/Full Velocity TV is where you find us over on Twitch. As we say hello to, I see Michael Mack chiming in over here to Facebook Live. Michael, thanks for tuning in. Great to see you. Our buddy Andy Margot also checked in. Andy, as always, buddy, great to see you tuned in. Thanks for the support. I'm sure Andy will send me his natural nightly distraction here over the course of a little bit. It's a 46 of Libby came toward pit road. It looks like he's going to take that left-hand turn right into the garage area. So it looks like Ryan Libby's night going to be done aboard car 46. That Fury Race Cars machine was really having a good night. It looks like it's giving up the ghost there. Contact off the right front, and looks like that car going to be done for the night after cutting down a right front tire. Maybe a tore something up there. So we're working now. We put lap number 29 to completion. We're going to start lap number 30. Next time by, we'll be halfway home. 30 laps in, 30 laps to go. I guess we can calculate that. 75 miles in, 75 miles to conclude us here tonight. The Pocono 150 Cyber Thunder Racing League Wyckoff Heating and Cooling Thursday Night Thunder Series. And this is a great little series. Tom Richter and the gang doing a fine job as always. Great car count, very, very great drivers. They are fun to be around, and hope you guys are enjoying the racing. It's been a good one so far. David Patton has been the dominant car tonight. Him and Tanner Tellerico have put on a show. Ed Bine now running in the third spot. He has dropped off that really fast pace of what those guys Have it running up front. Craig Meyer, the number 21. Craig up there in the 4th spot, having a good run. 5th, we find Nick Fleury, and that's where the racing gets really interesting because Nick Fleury, you look out the rear mirror, you see the number 3 car of Chris Harvey, the number 34 of Tom Richter. Those guys all having a good race of it. Richter now going to come to the low side of Harvey as they race off for the 6th spot down the front stretch, headed toward that long sweeping turn number 1. And look at the good run that 34 Tom Richter gets that Wyckoff heating and cooling Ford Mustang. Doing a really good job there, working its way off of that first turn, sweeping up the racetrack and holding on there. See if he can't chase down Nick Fleury aboard car number 50. Races for Christ Machine is Tom getting a really good run down the long trot straightaway, headed down toward turn number 2 in the tunnel turn, and almost looks a little bit of contact. If he didn't, he may have sent the 50 car up the hill. Tom Richter now with a power move to the tunnel turn. He's going to stake claim to a running spot inside the top 5. So Tom Richter starting to flex his muscles here tonight aboard car number 34 is himself and Chris Harvey. Jay Morris is back there. Fleury in the 50 car. Those guys having a good run. Angie Burr in the number 23, that No You Racing Machine. Big Time Rush also on that car as a sponsor as well aboard car number 23. Andrew Burr's Toyota on the back part of that battle behind the number 50 car of Nick Fleury. Troy Whiteside's also back there. Troy running in the top 10. The last car to lead lap. Looks like Derek McLenithan has come down pit road to get tires. Derek's number 26 currently running 2 laps down. Ryan Libby is behind the wall. Looks like his night is done. Jeremy Hebel has been on and off pit road. Jeremy out there running in the 13th spot. He is 6 laps down. Andrew Payne is behind the wall. Looks like he is all done for the night. He is 16 laps down. And Dakota Wilkins aboard car number 44. Dakota has got connection into the Pocono Raceway. He is out there on the racetrack in his Energizer Chevrolet and running out there 27 laps down, running in the 15th spot. When you run for points, if you can gather up any position you can, you're going to do so. He's doing just that as Dakota Wilkins now racing on the inside with Andrew Burr back there. As Dakota, being a veteran racer as he is, not going to push the issue back there. Knows he is laps down. We're going to pull over and let those guys kind of ride up there and let it settle out. But we're past the halfway mark now, working lap number 33 here in Pocono. Working down the long pot straightaway, headed toward the tunnel turn in turn number 2. Where we find a race for the lead happening once again because that number 42 machine, that yellow car, Tanner Tellerico, has come to the back bumper of that K&N number 38 of David Patton. Tanner going to look to the low side of the racetrack. They're going to make a bid for the race lead with turn number 3 and 4. Turn number 3, not 4. It is not 4 turns here in Pocono. Phil, what are you thinking? 3rd turn, and David Patton gets a really good run off. Tanner's car not liking the low side right now. This car number 42 going to fall back 2 car lengths, headed down toward turn number 1. They saw 1 car pull itself behind the wall in the garage area. That is number 99 of Jeremy Hebel. So it looks like Jeremy's night may also be done aboard car number 99. So tough break for him. Jeremy going to join Ryan Libby and Andrew Payne behind the wall with a 15-car field here in Pocono. Hope you guys are enjoying it. You guys have not checked out the all-new website home of the Full Velocity Racing Network. You can do so by going over to fullvelocitytv.com. You can find our full event schedule over there. You can find ways to get involved as a contributor or even becoming a Full Velocity sponsor. Check that all out. Our event calendar is there. So many great things to come. A lot of great things to announce here in the next couple of days as well. Once again, that home base of Full Velocity Racing Network, fullvelocitytv.com, as we find a great race happening for that 5th spot between car number 34 of Tom Richter and the number 6 car, number 21 of Craig Meyer. That's racing for the 4th spot. Looks like Craig's car may have shot up the racetrack. Richter going to go by. Also, Jay Morris of the Home Depot, number 27 to the low side. So Craig Meyer was up there running in the 4th spot. Craig has now dropped back to 6, put the 34 of Tom Richter to 4th. 5th will be Jay Morris aboard car number 27.
User joined your channel.
Past halfway, working on lap number 35. David Patton doing a great job waiting for Tanner Tellerico to get back to the back bumper of that car and continue a good race these guys have had going on for the lead most of the night. Tanner just cannot overwhelm the number 38 car of David Patton at all. So you have to wait and see as they work off the 3rd corner down that long straightaway here in Pocono. Patton, Tellerico going to give him the bump down the straightaway, heading toward turn number 1. 42 car going to swing to the low side. Could this be the bid for the lead change down to the turn of 138 up the hill? And look at him close the door shut in the 42. 42 cannot hold that bottom lane the way he needs to for the corner to take over the lead. David Patton going to hold on as they race down the long punch straightaway, headed down toward the tunnel turn here in turn number 2. Headed down, Patton going to drive it in deep. Tanner kind of gingerly walks it through the second turn. Now White lights it up off the second corner, gets a good launch off the turn. Down the short chute, headed down toward turn number 3, and now the 42. Going to almost take a peek to the low side, he enters the 3, and that's really where I think you're going to set up a pass here, is into 3 and get them down the straightaway here off of 3. 38 holding on over the 42, so we're going to complete lap number 36 of 60 in the Pocono 150, and I think I can officially welcome into the booth now. Welcome aboard my broadcast colleague and partner, Mr. Todd Stanton. Todd, a little bit late to the going here tonight. We're already past halfway, 37 laps of 60 on the board. How the heck are you, buddy? I'm sure it was a long drive home for you.
It wasn't really a long drive home. It was rather eventful. Just drove home as fast as I could to get here, broadcasting wise, and a little bit late, like you said, Phil. Had a lot of stuff going on at my job. He got to see some of the pictures behind the scenes of that was going on. But I'm finally getting here, giving Phil a little bit of a breather. Been watching the broadcast on the way home until it cut out on me. Obviously, I live out in the middle of nowhere. But it's been a great race so far, Phil.
Oh, it really, really has. David Patton taking down tonight's Hard Motorsports quick time. Him and Tanner Tellerico sitting on the front row. And it's been those two guys have really been pacing here through the first 37-plus laps as we're about two-thirds the way home. Slowed by one caution flag tonight, right around lap number 13. So the racing has been a really clean and green for so far. Patton leading over Tellerico. Ed Bynes, 55. He's been the third fastest car here all night long, but he has fallen off the pace of the top two, now 2.2 seconds behind is Ed Bynes, number 55. Tom Richter back there running the fourth spot over Jay Morris. Craig Meyer and Burr now up to the seventh spot. Him and Troy Whiteside having a good race back there. Troy, the number 71, currently running in the 8th position. Chris Harvey running in 9th. And Nick Fleury, the 50 car, looked like he may have come down for service. 50 car had come down pit road. He had lost some time. Chris Harvey in the 3. He is on pit road in his Chevrolet, that PJE Designs machine. Going to take 4 tires of work, so Chris Harvey going to pit his way out of the nice spot coming down from 4 tires. Todd, you got here just in time, just in the middle of a long green flag run. These guys probably got one more stop left to make in the class of the field all night long. So those top 3 guys up front, especially David Patton, Tanner Tellerico, those guys have really put one heck of a show on. But these guys, as we said, they still got one more stop to make, and this could be the money stop because this race really has a green flag feel to it.
Yeah, watching Edward to come down to the services pit crew. Watching lap times there, Phil, those top 3 were pretty much close to identical, 55.5s, and they were all rather close. As work going on, right side tires going on Edward's car. That number 55 machine looks like they're going to go around the left side. So 4 tires is the call. This is a little bit different here at Pocono, Phil, I've noticed. The layout was changed. I noticed I had to grab another Pocono as I was coming into the server here tonight. So it's a little bit different and a way of the land a little bit different for me. Just looking at the perspective of it, as I've been down at Pocono, it's rather unique to see this. This is actually closer than what I thought it was going to be.
Oh, it really is. It's a great little racetrack. I'm not sure how I had this in the catalog, but did have it in my track folder. Was probably pretty thankful I did because, you know, pretty good to come out here and cover these guys. Watched a whole lot of practice. Now watching that Wyckoff heating and cooling car number 34, Tom Richter. He's going to surrender out of position number 4 to head toward pit road. So let's see what the 34 car does. As he's going to get down the longest, a long sweeping pit road. As he's going to hit his sign, I'm going to assume it's going to be a 4-tire pit stop. Also, Jay Morris in the 27 car has come in. Right side tire work going on to both cars. Right side tire work done to the 34. They're going to swing over to left sides. Also, same deal. 27 of Jay Morris going to take 2 right side tires. He's going to play the gamble. Tom Ricker going to take 4. He's down and away. As it looks like, Todd, we get a race for the lead happening there off of 3.
Tellerico was down on the bottom side there, the number 38 machine of Patton. Patton was able to hold off, though. David Patton and the number 38 able to hold off the charging number 42 machine. You said Tanner Tellerico and that 42 trying to drive up through the field here and doing a fantastic job here. These guys have been putting on one whale of a show. Like I said, I've been watching the top 3 like we were talking, hitting on there, Phil, and just watching these guys go back and forth. But right now, Tellerico is settling in the line. I think he knows green flag pit stop's coming up here in going to have to not wear himself out too much.
No, we'll have to wait and see as Craig Meyer pits his way out of the top 5 aboard that car number 21. He hits the pit sign. 2 right side tires up in the air on car number 21. Let's see if they swing down and around for 4 tires over here. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a 4-tire start for the number 21. Left side tire is up. They're down. Quick work there. Craig Meyer going to be joining the race. And I wonder how long the race leaders are going to elect to stay out there on these old tires, Todd, because these things wear out here. It was like a 2-second fall off between like what they took in qualifying to what they were putting in about lap 15 of a run. So they don't want to take too long. As I look, I see Tanner Tallarico's 42 car. He surrendered his way onto pit road.
Yeah, Tallarico able to outbrake David coming down into pit road. He takes kind of the lead coming down into pit road. So the 42 machine down to the services his pit crew. 38 also there. Let's see what these guys are going to do. The left side tires or right side tires are already up in the air for Tallarico. Same way with the 38 of Patton. Those guys, it looks like 4 tires going to be the way of the land here for those 2 drivers. Down and away is Tallarico, but David Patton right there too there, Phil. About 3 car lengths separating them coming off of pit road, but Tallarico with the better stop.
I'm not sure how to follow that because I saw the 42 go right through the 38, and it makes me kind of think, are pit stops in iRacing, are they real? Are they difficult? Because where I come from, Todd, you have to dodge other cars, not drive through them.
It's definitely different as they've made it that way there, Phil, and they've not changed it for over the years here at iRacing, and it's rather different. It's unique. I would like to see them make solid cars on pit road like they are on the track to make those guys go out and around and make it more difficult for their pit stops.
If you could go through them on the track, you could go, if you could hit them on the track, you should probably be able to hit them on pit road. They get Ute tires out there. You can hit those things. You can't hit a car on pit road. It just completely befuddles me. When we look up front, Ed Bynum, number 55, pitted a little bit early, Todd. He took 2 tires, and look at the way that gamble is paid off as you go back out there and look at timing and scoring. Working lap number 43, Ed Bynum. He's got Tanner Tallarico by 5.7 seconds, 7.8 back to David Patton. We'll see how that plays out when they get back to the start-finish line, but a little bit of sneaky for car number 55. A 2-tire stop propels him out to the race lead, but he's going to have about 16 laps of racing left to go. That's a lot here at Pocono. Can 2 tires outdo 4? I guess the storyline yet to be played, but either way, Ed Bynum's got the lead on that Toyota off of 3.
And Ed Bynum in the number 55 machine last time by was a 53.332. Let's see what this time by was. 53.936. So they picked up a lot of speed even for 2 tires there, Phil. As you said, he took only 2 tires in that 55 machine. We'll see how that plays out. Going to go back through here to see what Tanner did last time by 53.151. Definitely faster there on the 4 fresh goodies there as he's getting ready to run down the number 55 machine. It's down to 4.9 seconds. It's not going to be long as Tanner has the faster car with 4 fresh tires.
Absolutely right. Can also report that Dakota Wilkins has surrendered the ghost aboard the number 44. Dakota had issues staying connected into the race all night long. Ran out there about 27 laps down, surrendered his car to the pit area for the night. So Dakota Wilkins officially going to finish up 15th here tonight. Currently scored 37 laps down. Dakota joining Andrew Payne, Jeremy Hebel, and Ryan Libby behind the wall. So those guys having short nights here, but working on lap number 44. Already 3/4 of the way home here in the Pocono 150. Ed Bynum leads, but that lead is shrinking. What was 4.9 last time by is now down to 3.5. You can almost hear the Jaws music because that 42 car, Todd, Tanner is coming.
Yeah, Tanner definitely coming, and David 2 seconds behind Tanner, so something to miss there coming out of pit road for the number 38 machine. Didn't get up to speed like he wanted to. Is Tanner just putting on a clinic here, pulling away from him, and now catching the 55 last time by, like you said, 3.5 seconds between those guys at that start finish line. And you can see them in the screen here as I've been watching them as they're coming down. I believe that's the one corner into turn. Yeah, it's into turn number 3 right now. Is Tallarico trying to run down here, going down Long Pond straightaway. It is Edward Bynum right out in that 55 machine, getting ready to flash by that start finish line here. Tanner Tallarico going right by it at the same blip. So now down to 2 seconds there, Phil. So Edward Bynum is going to have some heavy competition as soon as the number 42 catches.
Yeah, he is going to catch him. It's only a matter of time. It was 2 seconds 2.1 last time by, 53.413 for that 42 versus a 54.887. So that's the second half being cut off between the race leader 55 Ed Byen and the 42 of Tanner Tellerico. 2 more seconds back, 4.1 behind the 38 of David Patton, who I don't think got on a pit road the way he wanted to because Tanner really carried him on through. Jay Morris, number 27, that's another guy who gambled and took 2 tires. He currently runs 4th, and he's got 2 seconds better on the number 3 of Chris Harvey. Chris also took 2 tires to run 5th. Tom Richter runs 6th, Todd. In the 34, Tom took 4 tires, and I'm assuming not only is he going to be able to run down and chase down and pass the 3 car, but I think he also can realistically probably chase down the 27, who currently occupies P4 as they head down toward turn 1.
Yeah, definitely Tanner Tellerico right now, right up to the rear bumper, down to the bottom side, the 55 of Byen drifts up that track. Tellerico looks like it is really easy coming down this back straightaway here for the number 42 machine as he come down into turn number 3 here. The 42 going to take over the lead, or turn number 2, excuse me. The 42 of Tanner Tellerico is going to get around the 55 machine, put himself back into the lead around Edward Byen.
It was a good battle, but I don't think that one that was going to play out for the 55 of Ed. So I think if he's going to shot at this thing, he's going to need to be aided by another caution flag because 2 tires, it shows right there. Tanner Tellerico was by far and away the fastest car on the racetrack. David Patton, number 38, may start to chase down the 55 car as well. It's about a second and a half between them. Top 3 have really started to check out and hide from these guys. Jay Morris, number 27, currently rides 4th, but here comes that number 34 of Tom Richter. He is around the 3 of Chris Harvey, so put Tom now back into the top 5, and he's got 2 seconds to run down between himself and the 27 of Jay Morris, that Home Depot machine. That's another one of those 2 tires versus 4. You got to think advantage goes to the 34 as they head down the Long Pond straightaway.
Yeah, definitely Jay Morris already in the 55 second bracket where Tom Richter still 54.9. So Tom Richter indeed a little bit faster, actually quite a bit faster than Jay Morris, almost half a second faster last time by. So he should be able to run him down. You should see the 34 Tom Richter going to be able to get around him for that 4th spot, take it over. But I tell you, Phil, David Patton, I thought after watching him here coming home as Patton able to reel back in Edward Byen, it looks like he's starting to reel in Tanner Tellerico too in that 42 machine, now down to 1.9 seconds. So just I think maybe conserving his tires just a little bit, Phil, here for the latter portion of this race.
Well, you could, because I mean, there's 2.5 miles around, 3 completely diameters of the straightaways, 3 completely different dynamics to each corner. Maybe David Patton is saving up something in a 38. He was the fastest car here in Pocono here tonight. Set on the pole here this evening. A Hard Motorsports quick time. He did set aboard car number 38. We'll see if he can chase down the top 2 right now. Definitely faster than Ed Byen. See if he can chase down the race leader Tanner Tellerico. Todd, we're watching a little race going on way back off the periphery of the lead. And it's a really good 3-car race for position number 8, where we find Craig Meyer back there, Troy Whiteside, and the number 23 of Andrew Byrne. Also look right up ahead, you see Nick Fleury in the 50 car. That's a good 4-car race back there, 20 seconds behind the race lead, with those guys really getting after it for P7 on back there, headed off through turn number 3. That's a race there for 7th between Fleury and Craig Meyer to the low side, looking to pick up running in the top 7.
Yeah, Craig Meyer down to the bottom side here of Nick Fleury as they come down the front straightaway, Long Pond straightaway. As Craig Meyer put on a whale of a show here side by side. These guys, actually these top 4 put on a whale of a, these 4 drivers put on a whale of a show. Might not be for the top 4 positions, but man, these guys are fighting tooth and nail. And this is for the 8th position here with the 21, the 50 machine, the 71. These guys are all fighting pretty hard here. And they're pretty close there, Phil. It's nice to see a nice battle through the field. And man, Craig Meyer, so used to seeing him in the NASCAR 2003 side of things, and now over here in the iRacing simulation, doing a pretty good job.
He's doing a really good job. We have a race going on for that 2nd spot, heading down the long straightaway into turn number 1. David Patton has chased down the 55 and Byen, and now down to the low side into turn number 1. 55's got no challenge to give on those 2 tires, but David Patton now, that K&N Filter Chevrolet Camaro, he's up to P2. Can he chase down Tanner Tellerico? Last time by, it was about 1.7 seconds. David had to pass a race car there, so we're really going to tell the tale of the next lap or so as we're under 10 laps remaining here tonight. Who's quicker? 42 versus 38, because those 2 cars are going to be the 2 racing out for the race win if this thing stays green. Who do you think, Todd? I think the 38 car looks to be a little bit quicker. I guess we got telemetry to tell us that story this time. They exit turn 2.
The longer run there, Phil. I think the 38 has it. David Patton, as Tellerico seems to be struggling towards the longer portion of this run, as we were seeing there towards the end of that one. Yeah, of course, Patton just lost a little bit of time. It was 1.65, now it's a 1.68. But again, you got to keep in mind that he just passed the number 55 of Edward Byron, so you're going to have to wait and see this time by if it's going to be true or not. If the 38 is going to be indeed faster than that 42 machine. It looks like they're going to come down here to enter turn number 2 here. They're coming up through here at Pocono, and it's rather interesting. The tricky triangle here down in Pennsylvania. Been there a couple times there, Phil, over the years, and it's a rather interesting, unique track. And it's a really hard track to navigate and drive through.
I'm sure it is. I visited it once in person. I don't think I'll ever go back. I had the worst seat I think you could possibly sit in the house. I maybe saw what looked like about 1,000 yards of real estate off the exit of the short chute into turn number 3. Saw them exit turn number 3. Saw about maybe 200 yards of the front stretch, and they were going out of my view. I mean, it was the worst viewing experience ever for me as a fan. My Pocono experience has been ruined, but I'm hoping you guys out here certainly haven't. Maybe I'll visit it again here a time or two one day. We'll have to wait and see. But we are raced now for that 4th spot. Tom Richter has chased down the back of Jay Morris, that Home Depot machine. Going to have to hold off Tom Richter. They drag race to turn 1. Advantage there until the race there. 2 tires versus 4. You got to think the 34 eventually has overcome that one.
And Tom Richter just a tick faster than the 27 of Jay Morris. Morris able to hold on, though, to that 4th spot. But like you said, Phil, I don't think it's going to be for long. The 34 machine just, like you said, a tick faster here. It looks like Morris started to drift out the track a tad bit. But if he can get the 34 to use up his tires, he might be able to hold him off.
I think he can. We'll have to wait and see. Jay's done a really good job because I thought Tom would not only chase him down, but probably go by him in about a quarter or two. And it's been about 2 laps since Jay has headed out to race for his life around Tom Richter. But now off the 3rd turn, we see the 27 get really, really tight off corner exit. And I think as we're going to see Tom Richter maybe make a move. Jay going to throw the block down the front straightaway, headed down off into turn number 1. If you can mirror drive right there, that Home Depot machine really did it. That almost takes me back to, Joey Logano when he drove that number 20 car. He's a mirror driving fool, isn't he?
Yeah, probably not one of my favorite drivers to watch. I know some people like Joey Logano. I'm not a big Joey Logano fan, but watching Jay Morris, you got me saying Joey down there, Phil. But watching Jay Morris as he's able to block the 34's run there of Tom Richter. I said last time by, Jay Morris 55.907, Tom Richter 55.824. So those guys almost pretty much identical in lap time now, Phil. The 2 versus 4, it's kind of went away. Here comes Tom Richter to the outside here. Down the long pond straight away is the 34 of Richter trying to take over that the 4th spot there from the top shelf of the speedway here at Pocono. That's going to be hard.
Well, it's hard, but it looks like he's going to make it work as he drives it deep down in the turn number 1. Using the outside lane of the corner, you can see the car just squeal up the racetrack, but Tom holds on to it, somehow keeps it off the wall. That's the spot in the racetrack I would definitely probably applaud the right front off. Tom doing a great job. Now put Tom Richter into the top 4, and he chased down the likes of car number 55, Ed Byen. Ed is up there about 6 seconds ahead, so that may be a little bit tough. 6 seconds, about 6 laps remaining. I think Ed Byen going to like where he is right now. I'm not sure Tom could chase him down unless a mistake happens. Race for the lead is all settled out for the time being. Tellerico over Patton down to 1.3 seconds, so that race is really stabilized. That water car has been coming about 10 laps ago, Todd, back there with Troy Whiteside, Andrew Burr, Craig Meyer, Nick Fleury. Well, those guys have been really going at it, throwing haymakers. It's a little bit tame right now. We're about 3 or 4 laps. Those guys are really going at it. And Burr and Whiteside, they're having a really good race in their own right. That is a drag race down to the 1st turn for that 7th spot. They head toward turn 1.
Yeah, looking down at Burr here in the 23 machine, right there in the iRacing.com car, right there directly behind the 71 machine of Troy Whiteside. Whiteside drifts up the track there. Man, I thought he was going to pound that outside wall, but able to keep it off the wall. Number 23 still all over the rear bumper of the 71 here. Andrew Burr trying to make some kind of challenge on this 71 machine, but It seems like he's a little bit better though in through turn number 2 here. So we'll see. Andrew Burr's going to be able to maybe get up alongside of him here on the Long Pond straightaway as they come down into turn number 3 right now.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. 71 kind of arcs it off the high lane. The 23 of Bird drives a little bit more straight into the corner down low. Washes up the racetrack a little bit more, but look at the run he gets off the corner. Andrew Bird down to the low side of that red strap-on machine of Troy Whiteside's over 71. Give the advantage here. You know, track position-wise on the low side to Andrew Burr's hit turn number 1. He drives it down to the corner. Troy drives it really deep, and you can see that right front just roll over the 71. Put Andrew Burr now up to that 7th spot. That race may not be done yet. That's a good little battle they got going on. Just highlighting some of the good races that go on out here in the Pocono. As we check in back up front, David Patton is starting to reel in Tanner Tellerico ever so slightly. It was 1.1 seconds last time by. Let's see the interval here at the line. Looks like it's going to stay pretty equal there, 1.169. So actually, the 42 car a little bit quicker. And I'm not all that surprised there, Todd, because opening the official practice at Raid here for an hour, I really paid attention to the 42 car. He had a really good 1-lap car, but he had a really good 20-lap car. I think Tanner maybe had the best car coming into the night, and so far so good. His next time by, 2 laps going to be to go here from the starter when they come back off that 3rd turn. Tanner Tellerico could be 2 circuits away from picking up the win tonight here in the Pocono 150. Does David Patton have anything left to throw out of that 38 car? I think it's going to be a tough road to hoe unless that 42 car slips up.
He's definitely been able to reel him in just a little bit over the last few laps, and then he loses a little bit of time, just a tad bit of time, but that's not what he wanted to do. Is it was 1.6 when we were talking about him here about 10 laps ago. So he was able to reel him in just a little bit. As I believe this is going to be white flag out there, Phil, as it is going to be Tanner Tellerico right now, 1.2 seconds now. So yeah, Tellerico started to pull away just a tad bit, but not a lot there, Phil. So these cars are about pretty much identical as these guys are coming down through here. But Tellerico is going to have to make a massive error for that 38 of David Patton to catch him.
Well, if there's a place you can make a mistake, he's got through turn number 1 really good. He kind of breaks the draft down the Long Pond straightaway, headed down toward turn number 2. And this is the corner where you can really get yourself thrown for a loop. 38 drives it really deep down there. Threw off about 2 or 3 car lengths off the corner down the short chute, headed off into turn number 3. One more mistake corner to make. There's Tanner Tellerico, get through it beautifully. Looks like he's going to arc it in there real nice. David Patton is driving the wheels off of that thing, Todd, but as white flag goes up in the air, one more trip around. It was 1.2 last time by. Let's see where it sits here at the line. It goes down to 1 second even, so 0.2 of a second. It's going to have to be better than that for David Patton. He's got one more trip around the 2.5-mile tricky triangle to get it done. They're racing for the win down in turn 1.
And down here in turn number 1 is Tellerico just barely holding on, like you said, about a second there. I mean, you can't call that barely. That's probably 20 car lengths or so as he's trying to break the draft of the number 38 coming down the back chute here into the kink, a little bit of the kink here at the Pocono racetrack. We're going to get off here into turn number 2 and then going to go down into turn number 3. It is the 38 machine of Patton making up some ground through that section. We come down here to turn number 3, Tanner Tellerico with the lead.
Tellerico going to lead him off into the corner for the final time off of turn number 3. The checkered flag going to go to the field. They race down this long straightaway. 42 going to pull it down low. Checkered flag in the air. Give Tanner Tellerico the win here tonight in Pocono. 0.8 of a second better over David Patton. Ed Byen, as he rolls in, going to finish up here. 3rd, 5 seconds off the pace. Drag race down for the 4th spot. Looks like Tom Richter in for 4th. Jay Morris will hold on for a top 5 finish. 6th will go to Chris Harvey. Andrew Burr going to hold on for 7th over Troy Whiteside will finish 8th. Craig Meyer will finish 9th. And 10th will be Nick Fleury aboard car number 50. Those guys still racing down into the short chute here, so these guys haven't quite yet ended up their race, but looks like Nick will finish up there 10th. 7 laps down, Derek McLenathan, he was the last car on the racetrack here, 7 laps down. He'll finish 11th. Ryan Libby will finish up 12th with Jeremy Hebel. Andrew Payne and Dakota Wilkins making up our 15-car field here tonight, the Pocono 150 for the Cyber Thunder Racing League, presented by Wyckoff Heating and Cooling. Thank Wyckoff so much for coming on aboard, sponsoring this great series. We will talk to our winner, Tanner Tellerico, and the rest of our top 3 next live on the post-race show on your source for esports racing, the Full Velocity Racing Network. Do not go anywhere. Back here live on your source for esports racing, the Full Velocity Racing Network post-race show. Here tonight for the Cyber Thunder Racing League, Pocono Raceway, Wyckoff Heating and Cooling, Thursday Night Thunder Series. Tanner Tellerico picking up the win. He will be down at BladeNode.com with Todd Stanton here in just a couple of minutes. We'll run down here toward pit side and talk to our second place finisher, David Patton. But first off, let's talk to our third place finisher here tonight aboard car number 55. That is Edward Byen. And Ed, you had a really good car out there tonight. Really, had a good challenge early on. You and Tanner and David, even Ryan Libby up there in the 46. You four cars put on a show for a little while, but your car fell off a little bit late. Two-tire gamble didn't pay off, but somehow you still get a good solid top three run out of it. Tell us about your night.
Yeah, I thought it was going pretty good. I was up there with Tanner, David, and I got caught up in a battle for third for a little bit, lost my spot, so I figured try to short pit a little early, go with the 4, and then thought maybe I could keep it up there for a little bit. I got my laps led, but overall happy with tonight.
You had a really, really good car. You came in a little bit early. You got that track vision back, but those guys, tire wear looked to be such a big critical key as it usually is a Pocono. A little bit of heat in the tires, a little bit of wear. I think I saw you guys are about 1 second slower over the course of about 6 or 7 laps. So that was probably the difference that you come in early over those guys. It was really advantaged them, but you still had to make them earn it. They had to run you down 5 seconds, and you did all you could. A great game effort by you here tonight. But I think it was the right call. But tire wear, man, I don't care how you set these cars up. Tires are always an eater over here at Pocono.
Oh, yeah, I was eating them up.
Well, you did a really good job. You bring the 55 home in the third spot here tonight. And we're live on the Full Velocity Racing Network, live via Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV. If there's anybody out there watching you want to say hello to or thank friends, family, and sponsors, the floor is all yours. Take it away. And congratulations once again on a good third-place run here this evening.
Thanks. Yeah, just want to give a shout out to Wyckoff for picking up the series and sponsoring everyone, and Tom for throwing everything together. Got my 55 Toyota Camry kitted fire protection car, made it to the podium, so I'm happy about that. And I got to be happy for my wife for giving me a room to put the rig in.
Always thankful when they give us a room to race, and that's a great thing. The wives and the ladies that do so much for us. Folks, keep an eye on this guy. He's going to be a good one here over the next couple of months. We're going to find out. Car number 55, Ed Byen, going to drive in tonight in that number 3 position. Great job by him to finish up third. Guy who had a whole lot of speed here tonight in Pocono. The guy who sat on the pole with the Hard Motorsports quick time. Driver of car number 38, the K&N Filter Chevrolet, David Patton. David had a really good race car tonight. A little bit slower on that pit stop there. Tanner kind of beat you out. You had to play catch up from there. Really drove the heck out of that car the last couple of laps. But was it all go when you came out of the pits? Because for a little bit, Todd and I really thought you were holding something back because you seemed to have a better car late. Just ran out of time. Was that what it was?
Well, you know what it was, Phil. It was rhythm, and pitting green flag pit stops have always been one of my weak points. I practice them a lot, but I always seem to be too conservative. That's not the first time I got passed on the run up to the pit road there, and then coming out of the pits and the rest of the race, I noticed I was starting to catch Tanner, but then I'd catch him in 1, and then he'd make it up in the tunnel, and then in 3 and 4, and then right in them last 5 laps, I don't know, I just sort of got in the zone and really got the rhythm in, and I was ticking off those tenths, and but we just ran out of time. So it was unfortunate, but it was an awesome race. Tanner's an awesome guy to run with. He's always super fast every week. So just to be able to give him a run for his money tonight is really satisfying for me.
Well, it's nice to hear that somebody else's bugaboo is getting on the pit run under green, because I know it's definitely my weak spot as well. Really gave up all that track time there. But your car was really, really good early. You led a whole lot of laps up there, and you were out there, not only Tanner up there pestering you, but Ed was up there for a while, Libby up there in the 46. You guys had a really good 4-car race for the lead. How tough is it to save your race car when you have those guys racing around you that hard when we're not even halfway home in the race at that juncture?
Yeah, I know it's all about that balance, and I would try and push it real hard and build up maybe a second lead and then fall off a little bit, and but this track's also pretty tough to pass on. It's easy to just make your car big and make the guys behind you work to get around you, and it's a tough track to pass. It's a fun track to race, and But finding that balance has always been key, and it's something I'm learning every day that I run here and run with these guys. And this is a great bunch of guys to learn how to find that balance and be competitive up front. So a lot of fun.
Absolutely right. Could not agree more. These guys at Cyber Thunder doing a great job, not only here with this series, but the new truck series rolling out here on June 11th. We were talking about earlier today on a post on the Full Velocity TV website. But I'm going to give you the floor one more time. David Patton, this is probably a 38 car, probably my favorite looking paint scheme out there. I wonder why. I've always been impartial to these colors. Really terrific looking race car. I'm going to give you the microphone one more time. Congratulations, my friend. An awesome second place finish. Tell us who's responsible for getting you out here this evening.
Well, as always, I got to thank Cyber Thunder and the guys and Tom and everybody that does the work to put this thing together. This was my first league that I joined in iRacing, and, it really opened up a whole nother level of the simulation for me, racing with guys like this. I've had nothing but a ton of fun every Thursday night. Looking forward to Tuesday night. With the new series coming. Thank you guys, too, for joining up with us. We got the sponsor now in the league, and that's awesome. Thank you to Wyckoff Cooling and Heating, and then you guys doing the work to broadcast us. And then, of course, I always got to thank my number one fan, Natalie. She's the love of my life, and she supports me in everything I do and is always backing me. And I know she's listening right now, so love you. And also Ryan, who is a buddy of mine I do some kart racing with. I know he's always giving me pep talks before the race. So, I think his pep talk tonight really got me worked up and has a lot to do with me finishing strong tonight.
Well, this guy was definitely a rocket here tonight in Pocono, ladies and gentlemen. Car 38, Ben Patton, finishing up here. Runner-up tonight here at the Pocono Raceway. An awesome job by him, so he had a good run. Ed Bine had a great run aboard the 55. Heck, all these guys had a really good run. Only one caution flag sold the works here tonight, but nobody faster in the state of Pennsylvania tonight than the driver of car number 42, Tanner Tellerico, who finds himself in BladeNode.com, Victory Lane, with our buddy Todd Stanton down there in Victory Lane.
Yeah, definitely down here in Victory Lane, picking up win number 4 on the season. Well, not on the season. Win number 4 so it's been 4 in a row for Tanner Tellerico. Got to say that. And mouthful here tonight. But Tanner, fantastic show here. I thought the 38 was going to be coming there for you there towards the end. It seemed like he was starting to tick off some of your time there towards the end of that race. But a fantastic race in its own right. Pocono's not an easy track to get around, not an easy track to navigate. But tell us about your race here this evening.
Yeah, well, first of all, I wanted to, I'm sure David brought it up, but I just wanted to say congrats to him, and that was an awesome battle. I was telling him in the waiting room before we came in here, I've never been on iRacing since 2012. I've never had a battle that fierce for that many laps consistently in a row, and we were all saying, or y'all were saying how I had the fastest car in Pennsylvania, but I don't think so. I think that 38 car was bad fast all night, and he was definitely keeping me honest at the end. I was on the ropes for sure. I knew that I had to make a really aggressive move to pit road just to have a shot. And I'm actually really surprised I didn't get a speeding penalty. I think I was doing probably 10 or 12 over on entry there. But I knew that was my only shot at him. And if I could get ahead of him in the pits, that might be all I would have. And I got lucky and got out just ahead of him, and I think I may have went so hard coming out of the pits because he was so fast, and I was a little bit nervous that probably burned up the right front, and he definitely started reeling me in towards the end there.
Yeah, definitely did start reeling you in towards the end there. And like you said, he was running fast laps, but your laps were pretty much identical throughout. From I'm going to say right around lap 32 when I came in, and they were pretty much identical lap times. He was a little bit quicker in certain sections. You were a little bit quicker in certain sections, but it was a great race. I tell you, I haven't seen a race like that at Pocono. I would like to see that even on TV, watching the guys race all the time. But you guys put on a whale of a show. You guys were right there neck and neck with each other, and you pulled off the strategy to actually win the race here tonight. And it worked for you tonight. It may not work for you next time, but it worked for you tonight, taking down the win, making it 4 in a row here at Cyber Thunder. And what a fantastic feat that is in itself.
Yeah, I mean, I knew a couple weeks ago that when we got to my home track at Michigan, that was one of my more favorite tracks I go to. It's honestly one of my better tracks. I think it's just because I enjoy going there so much that when we got there and won, it was just a big roll of momentum that we got going. And I'm glad that I got the win tonight, because looking at the schedule in the chase this first round, all the tracks are either not the best for me or they're kind of tracks you can't control. Like next week, I believe we go to Talladega, and we all know how crazy that can be. So just to add to my nervousness at the end of that race, I knew that if I could get the win tonight, I would be able to sleep a little bit easier and lock myself into the next round. But like I said, David drove his ass off all night and definitely kept me honest the last couple laps there. But yeah, I'm glad I could get the win tonight and punch our ticket to the next round.
As we're accustomed to here on Full Velocity Racing Network, Tanner, we're going to give you the microphone. I know you've thanked some of the guys already, but we're going to give you this opportunity to thank some more and thank them all over again. Here's the microphone. The floor is all yours.
Yeah, first off, I want to say thanks to Boardwalk Subs, everybody back at Siltman Crowder Racing. Been doing a lot of testing here and there for the Peak Series, and haven't really had the chance to run the B cars all that often, but they've really been working with me, and I've picked up a lot from them. And of course, everybody at Full Velocity and Wyckoff Heating and Cooling for coming on board here the second half of the year and really bringing this league into a new light.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it from BladeNode.com Victory Lane. Tanner Tellerico taking it down to victory here at Pocono, making it 4 in a row here this evening.
User was moved out.
4 in a row, and that is a feat to do. I don't care what league you run in. That is absolutely impressive. Tanner Tellerico picking up that win, and I think that, indeed, I'm trying to peek here at this. I don't believe this was a chase race here. It was the first round of the round of 12 here tonight, and Tanner Tellerico with the win. Going to punch himself into the ticket here into the round of 8. So races like Talladega coming up, the Roval. Also, these guys make a trip to Bristol to round out the first round of the 12. Tanner Tellerico punching his ticket out there tonight, and that's going to be a great thing for him because that's a couple of, Talladega, a wild card. The Roval, who knows? Bristol, I mean, Pocono, I think the easiest of the 4 tracks, and there's really not an easy track out there in those 4. Talladega, I call it no talent trained monkey plate racing, but a wreck there can completely turn your season upside down. So great job by them. Great job by all the gang over here at Cyber Thunder. Tom Richter, the entire gang over here. They are a great group of guys. Thank Wyckoff Heating and Cooling for coming on here as a series title sponsor of Thursday Night Thunder. Got to thank our sponsors here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Of course, got to thank Head Over Record Service, iRacing, iFlag, Voiles Trucking, BladeNode.com, South Texas Speedway, Montstar Productions, TDR Racing League, Hard Motorsports, Trash Panda Graphics, Evil One Graphics, and Full Throttle with the Jet. Gotta thank my partner Todd for scrambling on in here tonight, and appreciate him coming in and giving me a spell. Jack Chewin for his work on the controls. Guys like Ron Piles, Martin Karch, they do so much for us behind the scenes here at the network as well. Thanks to all you guys out there for watching this evening, live via Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch TV on your source for esports racing, the Full Velocity Racing Network. We're going to be off the next couple of days. We'll be back at you in a big way. Live coming up on Sunday night, a doubleheader over at DWR. We saw those guys have the finale of Season 5 of Street Fights last night. Well, we got the conclusion of the X-Stat Wraps UMP Modified Series at Lanier, followed up by the Sunday Shootout Series Championship night, also at Lanier. So a twofer of DWR coming up this Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We're live on the airwaves with more Full Velocity TV live on your source for esports racing, the Full Velocity Racing Network. Good night, everybody.
Good night.